Hey guys, welcome to another video. I thought that I would get inspired by my tattoos and read the books that would go with it. So for now, I only have 4 tattoos. I plan on having more. But yes, I did 2 of my tattoos in 2019, and then the year after I did 2 of my tattoos. Again, I'm doing 2 at the time because it's easier. So the first tattoo that I got was this one. This is a J for my grandma. This was the first letter of her name, and it was really hard to find a book that would fit this, but I thought I would read this. So this is Before Your Memory Fades by Toshikazu Kawaguchi. This is a Japanese author. This is his 3rd book in like the series. The series is Before the Coffee Gets Cold. This deals with like a little bit of magical realism, and I thought this one was perfect because it is called Before Your Memory Fades, and my grandma had Alzheimer's, so I thought this would represent her the best. At the same time, I got this one. Oh my god, didn't think of the logistics. So this is the wave of Kanagawa, and with the word exhale. I knew I wanted a wave, and I asked the tattooist to like give me his idea, and he did choose this wave in particular. I never asked for this one. I was not thinking of this one, but when he showed me, I was like, okay, would make sense. This was to calm my panic attacks. Very fun, and this is why it's like in this side so I can read it. I know he was quite shocked when I said I wanted it in that order, because he was like, but people will not be able to read it, and I was like, yeah, because it's for me, I don't really care. So this is what it is, and for this one I had a hard time picking it up again, but I thought I would read Orange. So those are mangas. I don't know who wrote it, Ichigo Takano. So I have watched the anime for this one, and I loved it so much that I thought I was gonna buy the mangas, and I have like the box that goes with it, and I think there's like a new edition with like more stories, but in this video I'll only read the first one. So the plot, again, it's gonna be very magical, but the plot is the main character receive a letter from herself from like 10 years ago. 10 years later, telling her what she needs to do on that particular day. And and there's this new person in her class, and the letter says, okay, don't let him skip going home, and like he should do this and blah blah. This book is about suicide. It is very, like, you should check the trigger warning for this one, but I thought it was beautiful, like very heartbreaking but amazing. I don't want to spoil it with like telling you things, but they are a group of friends, and she has received the letter, and it tells her, okay, if you missed that, you should do that, and you know, every time she does something, it just doesn't really work out. But yes, and you also have a little bit of like them 10 years later, which explains a little bit more. But yes, I'm excited to actually read them. And again, I don't know why I picked those books, but maybe I'll cry at this point. Then, oh my god, I got 2 tattoos made at the same time again, and the first one is this one. It's an end, and this one I am sharing with my mom. My mom has the same one, I think in the same place or on the other arm, I can't remember. So I wanted something either she would like, or with like something about moms, and I thought about it It was so hard. I have so many books, but nothing was really about mum. So I thought this one. So this is Our Missing Hearts by Celeste NJ. I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm really sorry. I have read her other books. I have read Everything I Never Told You, which is one of my favorite books. It is absolutely heartbreaking. And then she wrote Little Fires Everywhere, and I have watched the TV show for that, and it's very centered around families. And then I remember that this book was also about a relationship with a mother. I absolutely love. I have an art hardcover, and it's signed, which I think is so fun. So apparently this is a dystopia. I don't really know anything about that book, and I will try to go into it not knowing too much. I love this author's writing. The story are good. This is more on like the... It is... I don't know if this one is going to be like this, but for Everything I Never Told You, it's more about experience and like stories more than it is about like an actual plot. You will have characters and you will learn about their family and you will learn about their history, and like you go from those until like the point of like the present, how everything that came before just affected that moment in time. And Everything I Never Told You, it's not like the biggest plot twist and you're shocked. It's just heartbreaking all of the time. So again, I don't know why I picked those books. Will I cry? I don't know. And last but not least, my biggest tattoo is this one. So it is inspired by Greek mythology. You have Athena and Poseidon and Apollo and Artemis, I don't know how to pronounce that, Hades, Persephone. Do I have other people? Oh, the fire is Estia. So I was thinking, of course, of something inspired by Greek mythology, and I thought, I don't have a physical copy because it is not out in physical. This is this book. I don't know how to pronounce that. Cataton by Janani K. Jha. So this author is actually a singer. I absolutely love her songs. She does songs inspired by Greek mythology. She's an actual nerd. Love her songs. It's so good. And she started writing like, not poems, but like short stories. And then she said she was like releasing a book. We will see. Do I have great taste? Do my tattoos have great taste? I don't know. It's mostly books that I already own, so I don't think it's gonna be that bad. But again, we will see. I'll keep you updated on the next chapter thing. Bye! Hey guys, I know how bad it looks, but I wanted to do an update, and if you have watched my first video, you will know why I have all of this. But I am currently reading Orange. I think I'm nearly finished. I'm maybe halfway through. I remember most of it from the show, but it goes really fast. Like, I'm thinking, I think there are 6 novels, well, mangas, and I think I can't remember all of this happening. It goes by really fast. I think I liked the main character, the girl, like better in the show. She is really shy, and she doesn't do a lot of things. She receives a letter and she's like, oh, I'm not gonna read it because I don't want to know about the future. Girl, if you got the letter, I think it's important. But it is still good, and I'm liking the character, and I'm happy to go back into this. So for this one, it was this tattoo, I think, that this one is with this. And yeah, liking it so far, having a blast. while I'm at the hospital doing some test, and yep. On Cataton, I started yesterday on my iPad, and I am on chapter 3, I think, and they're setting everything to like what is gonna happen basically, and it is very interesting. I love the writing, I do love the characters so far. I am just confused because the author put a lot of her into the character, and at first I was like, oh, is she gonna pretend that it's her life? But no, the character is Asha. But yeah, it's very interesting. I cannot wait for more mythology to be thrown in, and I am loving it so far. And each chapter start with like a quote from one of her songs, and I'm dying to just listen to the song while reading, but because it takes more time to read the chapter than just like listening to the song once, I'm guessing I'm gonna have to not listen to the song maybe after I finish reading. But yeah, it's really good. Bye. Just wanted to give a quick update before I go to bed on Catchton by Janani. I am nearly halfway through. It is quite easy to read it on my phone, on Kindle. I don't own a Kindle, it's just like the app on my phone. And I do love Catchton so far. I am interested in the characters. Of course, there are hiding things, and I need to know, like, to really care about them. Asha, the main character, I really like her. I have theories for like what is going to happen at the end. But yeah, I'm like, yeah, the beginning was, I'm not going to say slow because it wasn't slow, but we are like halfway through and they have only done like one level of hell, and I'm guessing it's gonna go like really fast after that. But so far I'm liking it. I wanted to read tonight, but I'm just tired and I'm gonna go to bed. Hey guys, I am 63% into Cataton. I'm at chapter 7, and the song that is relating to that chapter is Achilles' Heels by Janani Keija. I love that song. I think it's the first one she wrote, like the first one that came out, and I absolutely love it. Just amazing. I don't know how I feel, because some of it is really kind of dark, but they make jokes all the time, and I feel like I should care more about the characters, but at the same time I think they are terrible people. I think I'm missing some backstory, which I'm sure is gonna arrive soon. But yeah, I'm not sure how I feel. I was really loving like the 41st%. Right now we are like more than halfway through, and there's still a lot of things that is gonna happen, I guess. And I'm a little bit confused. Like the last chapter was so confusing because they had to do something and then something happened, like not a plot twist, but like something meaningful, and then it just went to like, oh, it's not a few days later. Like the timeline, I'm just confused. I think I would love this book if it was not a novella, because I guess it's still pretty big, because it's 245 pages on Kindle. But at the same time, I wish there was more, and going into depth. I don't trust anyone. Even the narrator, Asha, I don't trust her. Maybe she's like an unreliable narrator. I don't know. Hello, don't mind the absolute patch that is here. It's like a patch that I cut. Just an update on Our Missing Hearts. I wanted to start reading it in audiobook. Oh my god, it's in audiobook, but I could not find it on Everend, and Audible I didn't have credit. So I looked it up and they have it on Spotify, but I don't have Spotify Premium. So I had like 1 month free, so I just took it. But unfortunately, the English version is not available. So I am currently listening to the French version, while also trying to like not read it, but like see the translation. Not always at the same times. At the moment, technically, I am on page 43 out of 331, 32. I don't know. I don't care. Okay, so, oh my god. This book was written in 2022, and it is a dystopia. Can we say dystopia if... Yeah. So it happens in America with like a fascist government with like how do you say, a dictatorship? I have the word in French, but I don't know if it's the translation, but yeah. And it's America saying, yeah, Asian people, mostly Chinese people, are communist. So, like, we don't want that. And the main character is half Chinese, half American. I mean, he's American, but his mom is from a Chinese descendant. Chinese family, I guess. And he lives in this world, and his mom has abandoned him and his father like 3 years ago. It's written really well. Love it. I wonder about the French translation. I'm liking the narrator at the moment. It's a woman. We are inside of birds. So the main character, he is called Noah, but his mom calls him Bird. And it's like the name that is used the most. And you see the world from his perspectives. And as a child, he doesn't really understand. He's been indoctrinated. Oh my god, my English is not Englishing at the moment. But yeah, you see the world with like his eyes. And of course, as like someone who knows the problem, you're like, dude, that is so wrong. But because he's a child and he has always lived like this, he doesn't know any better. What is funny is it's happening in America. And a lot of what is happening at the moment is, well, it's not funny, is what is happening in the US. And I love how people would read this book and say, it would never happen, it would never happen this fast, and blah, blah, blah. But it's pretty much what is happening to the US right now, to the world, actually. So it is interesting to see that even in 2022, was Trump president at the time, or was it Biden? 4 years, 2025? no, I think it was Biden, but they just came out of like a Trump administration, so I'm guessing it was kind of inspired by that, and the fact that we are back to square one is frightening. But yes, I would highly recommend. Oh my god, it's already 6 minutes. It's just me yapping about the book. I don't think I ever talked that much for other books. But yes, so I'm currently reading 2 books, Cacheton and this one. This one I'm listening, Cacheton I'm reading it because it's only available on Kindle. So far, loving both. Yes. Bye! I just finished Our Missing Hearts, and I am stupid because of course I read other books by Celeste, and I should know it doesn't have like a sort of happy ending. It's just like you have to guess, and I'm broken. I just spent 5 minutes crying at the ending. But yeah, it was really good, and I'm glad I picked it up for this tattoo, of course, because this is such a beautiful love letter from like a mum to her son, and also a child to their parents, and lots of hope, but also lots of grief and sadness. Lots of awful things happening. If you want to read this book, I highly suggest that you would read the trigger warning for this book, because there's loads of stuff happening, terrible stuff. My thoughts. I'm gonna listen after that. I still have the acknowledgement, and I love reading that. I think it's also like author's note, not just acknowledgement. But yeah, the book was incredible. I'm gonna put 5 out of 5 star, I think. I don't see myself putting anything below that. It's the first book I'm giving 5 out of 5 star for the year. I'm currently in my car waiting for my friend, and I really wanted to finish the book because a lot of things were happening at the end, and I only had like 1 hour left, so I had to listen to it. And yep, I cried. It was good. It was amazing. I think so. A lot of the story lies with a poem, and not just a poem, but like writing and art in general, and how it can actually change things. I've seen a lot of people saying that books and like arts is not always political, but it is. It's always political, and well, of course this book is clearly political, and I know the context in which it was written, and I cannot imagine what the author is feeling right now with what's happening in the US. But yes, it was just incredible, and I'm probably gonna cry for 10 minutes and then move on with my life if I can, but I don't think I can. The writing was amazing, and I think being read, the fact that it was read to me, it was so impactful, because it's like the author and the characters were like speaking to me and telling me their stories. It was really hard to listen at the end because I just kept crying or tearing up at work. But it is very good, and I would highly suggest you to read it. I don't know if my English is broken at this point. I just want to go into my bed and cry for hours. But I'm pretty sure my mom's not gonna watch this video because she is not the best at English, and I think she doesn't have a YouTube account. But if she's watching this, Mom, I love you. And yeah, it was such a beautiful love story. It's not a romance, but it is a love story for sure. Hello, it's still me. I finished the author's note and also the acknowledgement. It was 2 separate things, and it's just crazy how everything I said, she said it in the author's note. If you read the book, I would highly suggest for you to read the author's note for sure, because she explained how the US, but also the world, especially during the pandemic, helped her create the book. And I loved because she said that writing about your own century and your own, like, the present time is always so hard because you don't have this step. I don't know how to explain, but like you're biased for sure. Like, we can talk about things that have happened 100 years ago and feel completely distant from it, but right now, as we are living it, it's not the same thing. But with everything happening in the world, not just the US, she said that when you will be reading this, maybe you'll have a different perspective. And I was like, how crazy that I'm reading that while Donald Trump is elected for the 2nd time, because she names Donald Trump in her author's note. She doesn't say anything about him. It's about a sculpture that was made of him. But yeah, it was really interesting. So even just reading that was good. So yeah, I'm gonna finish now, promise. Hey guys, happy Sunday. So if I can upload today, this is Sunday, and I just finished Cataton, and I realized that most of the book, apart from Our Missing Heart, I didn't really give a lot of like what I was feeling throughout the books. So I'm gonna be quick with the ending. I think the video is already too long. So I got inspired by my 4 tattoos to read books. So the first one is this one, the one that I have with my mom, and I read Our Missing Hearts, and it was just amazing. 5 out of 5-star reads, books. I have talked enough about this book. I think you got all of my opinions, but really loved it. I've looked at like the reviews, and I think a lot of people who hated it either have like this weird, oh, it would not happen in real life, this is not at all like a believable dystopia, and you're like, but it is. And I think that people did not like the characters, and they said they were not deep, even though like the whole book is more about characters than it is like actual plot. So again, 5 out of 5 stars for me. The second tattoo we're gonna do is this one, the G for my grandma. And for this one I had picked Before Your Memory Fades. I listened to this at work and finished it like in 1 day or something, and I will not be continuing the series. I have the 4th book, and I will be like reading it because those are short. But I think once you have read like the 1st book, the rest of the series just seems to be kind of the same cycle over and over again. Especially with this one, it was really like about suicide and how grief can affect us, which I think was really good for My Tattoo. But again, I think the morals in this book are not wrong, because it's another culture, but I did not agree with a lot of those. It was more like, yes, you are grieving, but you should not kill yourself, because the people who died would not want that. And like, I get that, but it was nearly as if you shouldn't grieve at all. And I think people are allowed to be sad over like losing people, and a lot of death happens in this book, and at some point I did not see the meaning, not the meaning, like the point of just going over and over the same story, because it was kind of like the same idea all of the time. So yeah, I think I give this a 3. And finally, well, not finally, but for this one, the Exhale that I got for my mental health, I decided to go with a book about mental health. I read it like in a day, so you only have like me talking about it, but I just read it so fast because it's a manga. I did not feel the same as watching the anime. I just thought the main character was kind of annoying. Like, all of the characters were kind of annoying, especially when you know like the ending and some of like the plot twist. But I do think it's a good book for, so there is magical realism, and you have also a lot of discussion around suicide and mental health. Yeah, don't go into this, you know, they are smiling on the cover. This is not light-hearted, but yes. And finally, we have this book inspired by Greek mythology, and I decided to read Catton by Janani K.J. I will put the cover here because it is only available on Kindle. I just finished it like 30 minutes ago and decided to just take a shower because it was too much for my brain. I think I talked about it in the vlog, and at like the 40% I was liking it. Not like over the moon liking it, but it was really good. The ending and like the 60% left I did not like at all. So it is a competition for like money, and those people go through hell, and it was so rushed. The ending, like you spend like 40% of the book going through like what is gonna happen, and like should she trust people and stuff, and like the first level of hell. And then after that you just go through, because I think there's 7th or like 8th or 9th, don't know, can't remember, level of hell in the book, inspired by Inferno by Dante. But they go through some of them so quickly, and it's like, oh yeah, it's gonna be like riddles, and like, I don't know, it felt rushed, and I didn't like the riddles. I did not understand. It was like, oh my god, I am so intelligent, but it's like the most basic things, and I don't know how I felt. There is some Greek mythology stuff put into there, of course, because she's a huge fan, and so Janani, the author, is also a songwriter, and I absolutely love her songs. I started listening when she was on TikTok making Achilles Heels, which was inspired by Achilles, and I absolutely loved it. And so she made some of those songs back into an album, and you follow like the music through the story, but like the last 3 songs and like the last 3 chapters are like just 1 page of just her saying stuff, and I was so disappointed, especially because there are a lot of misprints. Sometimes she would be like, oh okay, I'm gonna talk to this character, and then it was the wrong name. So I was so confused. I was like, why is she talking to him even though 5 minutes before he was standing on the other way? But just, she got the characters wrong, and I know that it was self-published and I did pay for the book, but you had like mistakes, and I just thought, it's her first book, this is the first thing she has ever published, and I think she's good with like writing, but in terms of like plots and the structures of the story, I think it would have been better with like other better reader or something, because I guess no one pointed it out, but there were some mistakes, and I paid for the book, so I intend to like at least have like the no no problem, especially when you're trying to understand the story. And yeah, the ending was so rushed, did not like the characters at all, and there's supposed to be like a plot twist, but because everyone is so rude and mean, you get how it's gonna go. I think it was deserving like an actual ending and like an actual like novel to go through everything she probably had in mind, and most of it was like so deep in terms of like what was happening, of body hurt and stuff, and then they were making jokes and like trying to lighten the mood, and it's like not done well. I don't know, at some point they were in Lost and there was this weird like, oh, did we have sex together with like all of the characters, and like jealousy, and it was not making any sense at all. And maybe it was foreshadowing for what was going to happen at the end, but I don't know. And it was cutting at weird parts, and at some point I was like, did I just skip like chapters? So maybe I got the wrong edition, because there were like a lot of mistakes, but I did pay for the book on Kindle, so yeah, I think it was not the best. Yes, I enjoyed my reading weeks vlog thing, and the only thing I can tell you to read is Our Missing Heart. The rest was quite disappointing. But yes, I hope you like this video. I am trying to read a lot of books for next week, but I don't think I will have the time. I have 3 books to read for next week. As it is Black History Month, I was planning on reading stories by Black people, and I'm not going to spoil any of the books I'm going to read. I have started with an audiobook at work, and yes, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I get this video released soon.